get comfortable because we about to talk about some real stuff. I'm about to get vulnerable with y'all. Today, I wanted to touch on navigating being a woman of God in this society, living in LA, doing what I do, social media, modeling, all the things. Y'all, not me about to cry. I ain't even started talking. Y'all, what is going on? Anyways, I'm gonna use this video as a vent and also a source of encouragement for anyone who's feeling disconnected from God or navigating becoming a woman of God. But it can be so hard with all the pressure around us and all the outside opinions and everything. So I wanted to touch on how holding your boundaries is so important. And I will say that I became a woman of God around 3 years ago, and I've been really good with holding my boundaries and morals, but there's times where I fall off. There's times where I'm like, you know, everyone else is doing it, it's fine, God's gonna forgive me, but it's like, that's not the right mindset to have. That can play a part into me not wanting to curse, me not wanting to engage in sexual activity, me not wanting to drink, me not wanting to smoke. Not that I do these things, but there's times where I have slip-ups, and it's like, you have to come back into place and understand, like, why are you dropping your boundaries for somebody else, somebody else's acceptance other than God? And that's always what I have to come back to. And I always realize that when my life feels like it's going downhill, it's also the time that I am not having a great relationship with God. My relationship with God is lacking, then my life is lacking. If I'm not in my word, if I'm not present at church, if I'm not engaging in conversations about God, if I'm not praising God, if I'm not praying to God, if I'm not hearing God, if I'm not feeling His presence, my life lacks. It lacks faith, it lacks joy, it increases anxiety, it increases discouragement. And that's something that you have to realize in yourself when you start putting other people's acceptance or other people's opinions above God's. That's when things start going downhill. And I just wanted to use this video as encouragement. If you feel like you're in the same boat as me, when you have that slip up or when you go downhill, it's not too late to get back up, and it's not too late to set your boundaries in stone. Live the lesson and move on from what you learned and take it with you and use it as a tool, because it's like, sometimes we do have to feel the pain, because it's like someone can tell us, no, you shouldn't do this because something bad's gonna happen, you're not gonna get a good outcome. And sometimes we just want to test it. Sometimes we're like, let me see for myself. And sometimes God lets us see for ourselves. That's the thing. God will let you go through with that decision that you know in your mind is probably not good, but He's gonna let you because He loves you and He wants you to learn. And it's like, sometimes, you know, the pain is what gets us to where we need to be in life. The pain is what shows us our purpose. Pain can mean purpose. And it's like, you have to realize when you're slacking or when you're not living for God and living by what He wants you to live by. It's like, there's reasons these morals are set into play, and we learn them when you go through the pain. When you're not getting anything good out of this relationship that's just full of just lust, and there's nothing God-centered about it, and it's just going downhill. It's bringing your mood down. It's bringing your encouragement down. It's like, that's why God wants us to have a God-centered relationship. If, you know, you're engaging with people who only want to hang out with you when you're drinking and when you're smoking, those people usually are not good people to be around. Are you having godly conversations with those people? Are you being encouraged by those people? Are you feeling better about yourself when you hang around these people, or are they just inviting you out to drink? Now, I'm not gonna say that every person that drinks going out is bad. I know a lot of people who are amazing people, and when they go out, they love to have fun. That has nothing to do with who they are as a person, but there are some people that only want to hang out with you and only enjoy you when you're drunk or off drugs or whatever it is. And those are not people you want in your life. You want people who are gonna love you and encourage you and want you to be the best version of you and want you to serve God in the highest power that you can, and live for God and do right by God and always possible. And it's like, that's the people you want to be around. That's the people you want to surround yourself with. And I am in an area or time of my life where I really need to be very particular in who I keep around my circle, because I've seen how much one person can affect me. One person that brings me downhill a little bit, or maybe I like a little bit too much and I want to be accepted by them or whatever it is. And it's like, I oftentimes will sacrifice my boundaries for that acceptance or to keep them around, whatever it is. If it's a friend, if it's a boyfriend, whatever it is. And it's like, that's where we need to realize that we need to hold our boundaries and know what's good for us and know what we need to let go of. And it's like, sometimes when you enter a season of growth, when you enter a season of wanting to be a woman of God and wanting to be better and do better by God, you have to let some things go, whether it's habits, whether it's people, whether it's family. You have to learn how to let go and deal with that. It's a sacrifice, but it's worth it. With sacrifice, there's always something on this other side of sacrifice. Almost everything good in life comes with a sacrifice, because if everything good was just easy to have, everybody's life would be perfect. And that's where you need to learn that everything's not supposed to be easy. And you just gotta pray about it. You're gonna get through it. And remember that you've gotten through 100% of everything in your past, everything that you've been through, everything that you've struggled with, you've gotten through 100% of it. Think about it. If you've ever been depressed, if you've ever dealt with grief, if you've ever dealt with a breakup, you are here today. You've survived it. So you can survive whatever's to come. If you gotta let go of this habit, you've let go of something before, you can survive it, but you just gotta remind yourself that. And when the times come where you're craving it, craving the person, craving the habit, craving the food, whatever it is, you have to take yourself back and remember that you've survived 100% of your downhills. Everybody's gonna have a downhill. Everybody's gonna fall down, but it's all about getting back up, because it's only up from there. When you lay back, it's only up. You can only get up. You can't go back down further. Sometimes we hit rock bottom, and when you hit rock bottom, you can only get up. That's the only option you have. You can't, you could roll sideways a little bit, but it's like, no waste of time rolling sideways. Just get up. Just get up now. Just get up. Just get up. But yeah, so I can say that. And also something I've struggled with is modesty. A lot of you guys know, especially if you've been following me on TikTok, a while ago I made a post about how I got rid of everything in my closet that was not modest. I got rid of all my tight dresses. I got rid of see-through things. I got rid of my lace stuff. I want to throw this out there also. Everyone has a different definition of modesty, I've learned. I'm not all the way on the whole cover everything except your eyes and have long sleeves. I'm not there. That's not where I see modest being. I think when I think of modest, I think of a very put together, classy, elegant woman. Her cleavage isn't out. If I have to constantly pull down my dress, or I'm always snugging on it, or whatever it is, that's usually not a modest outfit. If I feel like I have to continuously move things or wear tapes, I feel like that's not modest. Sometimes tape is fine, but I just feel like if it's revealing, whether it's my cleavage, super short, super tight, then I don't think that's very modest of me. So I went on a whole rampage of getting rid of all my clothes. I wanted to get a capsule wardrobe, and I was doing really good for a long time, and I loved it. And it's I will say, you get less attention. You will get less attention the more clothes you wear. Now you're only getting attention from the people that you want attention from. Those guys who are just thinking with their flesh and they're just lusting over you, yeah, they're gonna be erased from the picture because they can't see nothing to lust over. You still gonna get the man that's gonna lust over you because you're beautiful, but it's you erase those people. So while you're getting less attention, you have to change your mindset about it and think it's okay, I'm getting more quality attention. Quality over quantity, y'all. But I will say I've slipped up in the last couple of months, wanting to feel sexy. I've worn some really tight dresses and, some see-through stuff. And it's sometimes it can get to me because everyone else in the room at this event is wearing something super sexy. And it's I don't want to come in my conservative businesswoman outfit all the time. But it's you have to remember, what is your goals? What is your values? What is your desires in life? And how do you want to show up in a room? As much as it sucks and as much as I want to be sexy sometimes, it's I have to come back to that and why I made that decision. So that's been a struggle for me, but I'm still working on it. And me making this video, I'm looking at my clothes right now behind y'all. I actually have so much laundry to do, but I might do another sweep through my clothes because it's there's no reason for me to not to be dressing modestly. And it's even with modeling, it's been a struggle because some modeling clients won't hire you if they're watching this video and they're like, oh, she's modest, we can't work with her. Like, it's like, I'm sacrificing that. And I've talked to my agents about it, and you know, I have to understand I can't be halfway in. I can't, I'll model naked and like be not modest for modeling, but in the real world, I'm gonna be modest. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, and now that I've thought about it, it's like, I remember telling my agents that, and it's like, that doesn't make sense. I can't be halfway in. If I'm gonna do this, I need to do this 100%. So that's something I'm working on. Also, cursing. In middle school, or high school, I started wanted to stop cursing. Towards the end of high school, I had a really bad potty mouth, you guys. I am such a different woman than I was a couple years ago, and it's such a blessing on how much I've changed and evolved and grown. I've been on a journey of wanting to completely eliminate cursing out of my vocabulary, and I still slip up sometimes when I'm angry or certain emotions. I might say a little curse word or two, but it never feels right. I don't feel right cursing. It feels icky when it comes out, and it's just not, it doesn't go right with my image. And I feel like you are your brand, and I want to give off a very elegant, a very womanly, grown, feminine vibe and woman of God vibe. So it's like, and I don't see cursing fitting into that. There's no way I can fit cursing into that picture I see of myself. And it's like, by no means, this is no judgment to anybody who curses. You can use curse words, but for my sake and my opinion on what type of woman I see myself as and what I want other women to see me as, I don't think cursing would ever fit into my vocabulary in an appropriate way. So that's something I'm working on. And I remember in the beginning of my journey of stopping cursing, I would always I had a little jar. At first I was like, I'm gonna put $1 in it, but I didn't always have cash. So now it's just like, you know, a marble or something. I don't do it anymore, but it did help just to be more aware of how much you're cursing. Like, throw a little thing in there every time you say a curse word. If you gotta use $1, use $1, use a quarter, whatever it is. And it's like, when you see it build up, it's like you're more aware of it. Like, yeah, working on cursing can change a lot of things for you, and I feel like it's more feminine not to curse. Another thing I would say navigating in this society as a woman of God is drinking and smoking and clubbing. I don't like clubbing at all. That's not my vibe. That's not my environment in any means. And with that comes with drinking. With that comes with being under the influence, and it can be hard making friends out here because that's so normalized. And it's like, even people who are super godly and super cleanliness, it's like they're still drinking alcohol. They're still, you know, they want to have fun. And again, I'm gonna throw this out there in this video. This is not a judgmental video. Take this as me venting, and I'm wanting my venting to encourage somebody. So that's all this is. I'm not judging anybody, but I'm just saying it can be hard bonding with people or going out with people, because my type of fun is a wellness day. Like, when I think of a fun day, I'm thinking of waking up early, drinking my apple cider vinegar tea, walking to Pilates or solid core. After that, going to the farmer's market, wearing like a cute athleisure set, maybe going to the sauna, going to an ice bath, and then cooking a really good organic meal, and then hanging out outside, getting some vitamin D, going on a walk at the park. Like, that sounds like life. And being home by like 5 p.m., eat my steak, salmon, whatever I made for dinner, getting ready for bed around 7:30, drinking my tea, drinking my electrolytes. Like, that sounds like a dream to me, and that probably will be what I do on my birthday. Throwing out there, my birthday is gonna be a wellness bus. It's gonna be a party bus, but it's gonna be a wellness day. But yeah, that's something I love to do. But what I'm gonna say is there's other people out there who think like, in the beginning I'm like, oh, there's not gonna be anybody who thinks like this is fun. Like, everybody wants to go to the club, everyone wants to go to highlight room, everybody wants to go get drunk. But there are girls who think like me and who love wellness days, and it's like, you have to know that there are people in your circle. You just gotta find them. It's all about finding good community, and a good way to find that is social media and also church. Church always has great community, but finding a good community of people who have the same values as you, it's gonna change your conversations. It's gonna change your encouragement, because the people you're around will affect you mentally, subconsciously. You have no idea how much these people that you're surrounding yourself with is affecting you and your beliefs and your goals and your confidence. Everything is affected by the people you surround yourself with, the conversations you engage in, the music you listen to, the things you watch. Everything is affected. So you need to be very particular with who's in your circle, and you have complete control over who you allow to have that energy in your life, who has that effect on you in your life. You have complete control over the music you listen to. You have complete control over what you're searching on your phone. If you are addicted to porn, you have complete control over what you are searching. You are choosing to go on your phone and type in whatever nasty, lustful stuff you type in, and you have to deal with those consequences. There's nothing good that comes out of watching porn. I'm in a whole nother subject now. Porn. There is nothing good or nothing that will benefit you from watching porn. You might get a little dopamine hit, you might get a little touchy feeling on yourself, but it's not gonna benefit you in the long run for your relationships, for yourself, for your confidence, for your habits, for your relationship with God, for your flesh, for your soul. There is nothing beneficial. Just like drinking, alcohol is poison. There is no benefit coming from it. Why are you feeding these things into your soul when there's no benefit? There's no benefit. Why you need to love yourself more, and you need to love God and show God that you love this life that you have, and you're not taking sacrifice of it, and you are going to treat yourself with love, and you are going to treat yourself with kindness, and you are going to do things that are going to bring you closer to your purpose, not further from your purpose. Why would alcohol bring you closer to your purpose? Why would having a porn addiction bring you closer to your purpose? And again, I'm not judging. If you're in this state, you have time to get out. You have time to start working on it. As long as you're working on it, you're on a better path. Maybe do it less frequently. Take some times off. Take a couple days off. Get used to it, because it will directly affect your relationships. Have you thought about marriage? Have you thought about your significant other and how they would feel if you're watching porn, if you're addicted to porn? Have you thought about how your expectations are altered because you're watching this very unrealistic sex life that you may not get from this normal woman, this godly woman? You know, it's not gonna be like that. It's not gonna be like that, okay? If you not dated a girl who's been around town 7 times, and maybe more times 8, it's not gonna be like that. Do y'all know that? Have y'all thought about it? And it's like, now you got these unrealistic expectations, which can lead to cheating, lead to more pornography, lead to unsatisfaction. And it's like, that's where you need to start working on it. Past all that, it can also be hard navigating relationships. This is something I've struggled with. I've always wanted to be celibate, and this is emotional. I'm not gonna cry on YouTube. You're not gonna do that, Allison. My contacts are dry. The contacts that I'm not wearing. But I've always wanted to be celibate and save myself for marriage. And that didn't happen. Being completely honest with you guys, it didn't happen. And I feel like in the moment that I let go of that engraved want in my life, I was putting this person on a pedestal, and I was putting their acceptance of me or their like for me above God, above my boundaries, above my self-love. And that was a mistake. And it's like, for so long I didn't forgive myself for that. For so long I didn't forgive myself for that. And I was always like, why, Allison? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like, you just messed up everything. But it's like, I got to a point where I forgave myself, but that was such a learning lesson as to why we should save ourselves for marriage. And it's like, I've came across people, and I've came across wanting to date. I've came across wanting a boyfriend, wanting to feel loved, wanting a relationship, but I've been in fear that there's not going to be a person who wants to wait for marriage, because that's so rare these days. You don't find people who want to wait for marriage, and it's like, how am I going to be able to have a relationship, but now I have to sacrifice being celibate, even though I know that celibacy brings me so much clarity, so much joy, so much self-love, so much good in my life. There's never been something good that's came to me out of not being celibate. Sexual activity has never brought me anything good, anything positive, and I've always snapped back like, this is why I don't do that. That can be tough, navigating wanting love, but knowing that how rare it is. It is so normal, and it's like, okay, am I gonna have to sacrifice getting cheated on? Am I gonna have to sacrifice being a side chick? Because I'm not gonna be giving it up. And it's like, that's something that can be a struggle. And I wanna encourage you guys that there are people, as rare as it is, there are people out there who will wait. You need to hold your boundary and do it for you and know why you're doing it. It's so important to know your why and stick to your why. And it's going to be worth it. And bring it back to what I said with the boundaries and the sacrifices, and how sacrifice, the other side of sacrifice is good. It's always good on the other side of sacrifice. But this video is getting really long. I love you guys, and I just wanted to use this as encouragement. If you feel like, you know, you need to get back on track with God, or if you feel like you're struggling with keeping your boundaries with people because you want to be a woman of God, you can be a woman of God. You do not have to fight for acceptance. You don't have to lower your boundaries for anybody's acceptance. If you have to lower your boundaries for somebody, they're not meant to be in your life. I don't care how cute they are, how funny they are, how famous they are, how fun they are. They don't need to be in your life. There's gonna be somebody else. There's I don't know what the number is, like 8 billion people in this world. That one person you don't need. I promise. I promise. That one habit, you don't need it. I promise. You can replace it with a lot of things, y'all, but I love y'all. God bless y'all. I didn't cry. Don't even say. If you stay till this whole video, I want you to comment something that you strive to change this year, that's gonna bring you closer to that woman that you envision yourself as. Comment. Let's all encourage each other. Let's all bring some positivity in the comments. I love you guys so much. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Ali.Renee1. I love y'all, and God bless you.